Yahweh, Ban Yashab. Shuba call Sapar, Ban Yahweh, Ban Yashab. Yahweh Bashim Absar. Do one more time, permission you snap the way you did. Yahweh Bashim Absar. Yahweh Bashim Absar. First say La Yashab. La Yashab. La Yashab. Admadium, which means to stand. Wapan Yaha with dumb and face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malakufka. Daba'a. Ratazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashemayim. Latundanawa. Lakam. How. Yawam. Wasalakinawa. Kawawaknawa. Wasalaknawa. Kawawakinawa. Wala'a. Tabiya'anawa. Banasayawan. Abol. Hawashaynawa. Mayan. Right. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Watapara. La awalamyam. Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. We're going to do Hakak, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Bahashim Yahushua. Baba Kusha. Latanda Nawa. Hakak. Lava Pa'a. Kal Makala. Wakal Marawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Hakak. Lahakuyam. Hamakyam. Hakak. Al-Rakawa. Hatama Allah. Lagarashan. Ba'ashim Yahushua. The water Aman. In the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leprous. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Al-Haharya. Ma'ayan. Yaba'a. Isaiah. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayim. Barataza. Al-Yatan. Lamawat. Regalka. Al-Yanawam. Shemarka. Panah. Yanawam. Yashun. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shemarka. Yahweh. Al-Yad. Yamyanka. Yawamam. Hashemat. La'a. Yakaka. Wayarak. Balayala. Yahweh. Yashemarka. Makarai. Yashamar. Aknapashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Wabaka. Mayata. Aman. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. I will lift up my eyes into the hills. From which cometh my help? From which cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh. My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee. He that keepeth thee. Will not slumber. Will not slumber. Behold. Behold. He that keepeth Israel. He that keepeth Israel. Shall neither slumber nor sleep. Shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh thy keeper. Yahweh thy keeper. Yahweh thy shade upon thy right hand. Yahweh thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. Nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee. Yahweh shall preserve thee. From all evil. From all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. And thy coming in. From this time forth. From this time forth. And even forevermore. And even forevermore. So be it. So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Alahayim. Al damaya laka. Al damaya laka. Al takarash. Al takarash. Wa al tashakwat. Wa al tashakwat. Al. Al. Kayahana. Kayahana. Our yabyaka. Our yabyaka. Yahama yawan. Yahama yawan. Wama shanayaka. Wama shanayaka. Nasha'awa. Nasha'awa. Ra'ash. Ra'ash. Al aimaka. Al aimaka. Ya ira yamwa. Ya ira yamwa. Sawad. Sawad. Wayata ya ai tazawa. Wayata za ai tazawa. Al tazapuwanyaka. Al tazapuwanyaka. Amorwa. Amorwa. Lakawa. Lakawa. Wanakakidam. Wanakakidam. Magoya. Magoya. Wala'a. Wala'a. Yazakar. Yazakar. Sham yasha'ala. Sham yasha'ala. Aywa. Aywa. Kaya. Kaya. Nawa'ai tazawa. Nawa'ai tazawa. Lab. Lab. Yakadwa. Yakadwa. Awyaka. Awyaka. Baraya. Baraya. Yakarafwa. Yakarafwa. Ahalya. Ahalya. Arawam. Arawam. Wayashima'alayam. Washilayayam. Mawa'aba. Mawa'aba. Wahagorium. Wabagorium. Gabal. Gabal. Wa'aimawan. Well, Abawan. Wa'aimalak. Wa'aimalak. Halashak. Halashak. Am Yashavya. Al Yashamya. Tazawar. Tazawar. Gam Ashawar. Gam Ashawar. Nalawa. Nalawa. Aiman. Aiman. Hayawa. Hayawa. Zabawai. Zabawai. Labanya Lawat. Labanya Lawat. Salah. Salah. Aishalaham. Aishalaham. Kamadyan. Kamadyan. Kasaya Saba'a. Kasaya. Kasaya Saba'a. Kasaya Saba'a. Kayabyan. Kayabya. Banakal. Banakal. Wayashwan. Kanyashwan. Yashamadwa. Yashamadwa. Ba'ayan Da'ara. Ba'ayan Dayaram. Hayawa. Hayawa. Dama. Sorry, Daman. Daman. La Adama. La Adama. Shayathamwa. Shayathamwa. Narayamawa. Yadayamawa. Ka'ira. Ka'ira. Wakaza'aba. Wakaza'aba. Wakazabak. Wakazabak. Wakatazalmanai. Wakatazalmanai. How. How. Nasa Yakamwa. Nasa Yakamwa. Ashar. Ashar. Amora. Amora. Nayarasha. Nayarasha. Lanawa. Lanawa. Ah. Ah. Na'awa. Na'awa. Alahayam. Alahayam. Alahaya. Alahaya. Shayathamwa. Shayathamwa. Kagalgala. Kagalgala. Kakwash. Kakwash. Lapanya Raka. Lapanya Raka. Ka'ash. Ka'ash. Daba'ira Ya'ira. Daba'ira Ya'ira. Wakalahaba. Wakalahaba. Kalahat. Kalahat. Haryam. Haryam. Khan. Khan. Dabadapma. Dabadapma. Basa Iraka. Basa Iraka. Wabasawapaka. 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 Dabahalam. Dabahalam. Mala'a. Mala'a. Panyaham. Panyaham. Kwalawan. Kwalaam. Wayabakwashwa. Wabakwashwa. Shamka. Shamka. Yahawa. Yahawa. Yabashwa. Yabashwa. Wayabahalwa. Wabahalwa. Ayahai. Ayahai. Wayakaparwa. Wabakaparwa. Wayabadwa. Waba Abawa. Waya da Iowa. Waba da Iowa. Kaya. Kaya. Ata. Ata. Shamka. Shamka. Yahawa. Yahawa. Labadka. Labadka. Al Yawan. Al Yawan. Al. Al. Kal. Kal. Ratiza. Ratiza. Aman. Aman. Sar, which means the third. The Shabbat, which means to be seated. All right, Khan, here we go. All right, so Shalom Israel, the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group or any other Christian organization. All right, so now this is the Lord's Sabbath service. All right, we're going to be in Genesis chapter 14. We're going to read it in the Hebrew, then of course we're going to read it in the English. So Genesis chapter 14, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Wayahaya, Bayamya, Amarafal, Malak, Shanaaya, Ara Yawad, Malak, Alasar, Kawaral, Aimar, Malak, Yawalam, like Ayalam, whether the Isle, Malak, Goyim, verse 2, Aisha, Malachama, Barai, Malak, Saddam, Wa'ah, Barashai, Barashai, Malak, Imara, Shana'ab, Malak, Adama, Washama'ab, Mashama'abar, Mashama'ab Ba'ar, Malak, Tazabayayam, Tazabawayayam, Wamalak, Balai, Balai, Waya'a, Itazar, verse 3, Kal, Allah, Chabarwa, Al, Aimak, Hashadyam, Hawa, Yum, Hamalak, verse 4, Shafyam, Asherah, Shana, Ibadwa, Karavalai, Aimar, Washalash, Aishara, Shana, Maradwa, verse 5, Waba'ar by Aishara, Shana Ba'a, Kara Aimar, Wahamalakium, Ashar, Akwa, Wayakwa, Rapa'ayam, Ashafra, Karanya, Wa'a, Hazaraz, Yam, Baham, Wa'a, Ha'ayam Yam, Bashawar, Barayakyam, verse 6, Wa'a, Hakorya, verse 6, Wa'a, Hakorya, Bararam, Sha'ayar, Ayal, Ba'aran, Ashar, Al, Hamadabar, verse 7, Wayashabwa, Wayaba'a, Wa'al, Ayan, Mashapat, Awa'a, Kodash, Wayaka, Wayakwa, Afkal, Shaddai, Ha'amalak, Ha'amalakia, Wagam, Ha'amaria, Hayashab, Bachataza Tazan, Thamar. Genesis chapter 14, verse 1 in the English. And it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Ariah, king of Elasa, Shedalaomer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of nations. Verse 2, that these made war with Bera, king of Sodom, and with Barsha, king of Gomorrah, Shinar, king of Admah, and Shemeber, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, which is Zoar. Verse 3, all these were joined together in the vale of Siddim, which is the Salt Sea. Verse 4, 12 years they served Chedorlaomer. In the 13th year they rebelled. Verse 5, and in the 14th year came Chedorlaomer and the kings that were with him, and smote the Riphians, and Ashtaroth, Karnaim, and the Zuzims, and Ham, and the Emins, and Shevel, Kariathiim. Verse 6, and the Horites, and their Mount Seir, unto El Paran, which is by the wilderness. Verse 7, and they returned and came to Mishpat, which is Kadesh, and smote all the country of the Amalekites, and also the Amorites that dwelt in Hazazon Tamar. Verse 8 in the Hebrew. Wayataza'a Malak, Saddam, wa Malak, Amara, wa Malak, Adama, wa Malak, Tazabayayim, Tazabayim, wa Malak, Bala'a, it's like a Balai, Hawa'a, Taza'aya, Waya Irakwa, Atham, it's like it, Ah, that is kind of Athma, Athma, it's like it, Malachama, Ba'aimak, Hashadim. Verse 9, Karawala Imar, Malak, Ayalam, whether the isles, Malak, Goyam, wa Amorapal, Malak, Shana'ir, wa Arayawak, Slaki Waka, wa Arayawaka, Malak, Alasar, Arabaya, Malakium, Hamasha. Verse 10, wa Aimak, Hashadium, Ba'ara, Ba'ara, Hamar, Waya Naswa, Malak, Saddam, wa Amara, Waya Palwa, Shema, wa Hana Sha'aryam, Hara, Sana. It's like Nasar, verse 11, Waya Kwak, Wa'ah, Kal, Wakash, Saddam, wa Amara, Wa'ah, Kal, Akalma, Waya Lakwa, verse 12, Waya Kwak, Wa'ah, Nawat, Wa'ah, Rakashwa, Ban, Akya, Abaram, Waya Kal, it's like Waya Lakwa, Hawa, Yashab, Basadam, verse 13, Waya Ba'ah, Hapalayat, Waya Gad, La Abaram, wa Ibarya, wa Yahweh, it's like it wa Hawa, wa Hawa, Shakan, Ba'alak, it's like it Ba'alanya, Mamara'a, it's like Mamara'a, Ha'amarya, Akya, Ashakal, wa Akya, Ainar, wa Hum, Ba'alya, Barayat, Abaram, verse 14, Wayashamai, Abaram, Kaya, Nashaba, Akiwa, Wayarak, Hanayakyawa, Yalayadadya, Bayatwa, Shamana, Aishar, Washalash, Ma'af, Wayaradak, Aidan. All right. Genesis chapter 14, verse 8 in the English. And there went out the king of Sodom, and the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, the same is Zoar, and they joined battle with them in the vale of Siddim. Verse 9, with Shadalomer, the king of Elam, and with Tidal, king of nations, and Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Ariah, king of Elasar, 4 kings with 5. Verse 10, and the vale of Siddim was full of slime pits, and the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled and fell there, and they remained, and they that remained fled to the mountain. Verse 11, and they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah, and all their victuals, and went their way. Verse 12, and they took Lot, Abram's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. Verse 13, and there came one that had escaped, and told Abram, the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol, and brother of Anar, and these were confederate with Abram. Verse 14, and when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants, born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan. Most High Christ. Verse 15 in the Hebrew, Wayahala, Alayaham, Layala, Hawa'a, Wa'ibad,
Slaki, wa Ibad you where you come, where you rod, where you radat, where you radatma, Ide, Hawa ba Ashar, Mashama'al, Mashama'al, Ladamashak. Verse 16, where Yashab, Af, Kab, Harakash, Gam, Slaki, Wagam, Af, Lawat, Akiwa, where Yarakash, Hashayab, Wagam, Af, Hanashim, Wa'af, Ha'aim, verse 17, Wayatazah, Malak, Saddam, Lakara'af, Wa, Akharya, Shawabwa, Mahakath, Kadar, Kadar, La'imar, Wa'af, Hamalakim, Ashar, Afwa, Al, Aimak, Shawah, Hawa'ah, Aimak, Hamalak, verse 18, wa Malakia, Tazadak, Malak, Shalom, Hawatazaya, Lacham, Wayayan, Hahawa'a, Kahan, La'al, Al Yawan, verse 19, Waya Bakawa, Waya Amor, Barak, Abaram, La'al, Ala Yawan, Kwana, Shamyam, Ha'arataza, verse 20. We're going to finish it out. Verse 20. Wa Barak, Al, Ala Yawan, Ashar, Magun, Tazarayad, Bayadak, Wayathan Lawa, Ma'aishar, Makar, verse 21, Waya Amar, Malak, Saddam, Al, Abaram, Than, Laya, Hanapash, Harakash, Kwak, Lakah, verse 22, Waya Amar, Abaram, Al, Malak, Saddam, Harayamathia, Yahya, Al, Yahweh, Al, Alayawan, Kwana, Shamyam, Wa'arataza, verse 23, Hamacha, Mahawat, Wa'aid, Sharawak, Na'il, Wa'am, Akwak, Makal, Ashar, Lak, Wala'ah, Da'amar, Anya, Ha'aisharathya, Abaram, verse 24, Bala'adya, Rak, Ashar, Akarwa, Wana'ayam, Wahalak, Ha'anashim, Ashar, Halakwa, Afya, Ainar, Ashakal, Wamamara, Ham, Yakwakwa, Halakwam. It's like a Halakma. All right. Come finish it all the way to 24 for sure.
Come. Genesis chapter 14, verse 15. And he divided himself against them, he and his servants, by night, and smote them, and pursued them unto Habah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. Verse 16. And he brought back all the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot, and his goods, and the women also, and the people. Verse 17. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer, and of the kings that were with him, at the valley of Shavah, which is the king's dale. Verse 18. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God. Verse 19. And he blessed him, and said, Blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth, and blessed be the Most High God, which have delivered thine enemies into thy hand. And he gave him tithes of all. Verse 21. And the king of Sodom said unto Abram, Give me the person, and take the goods to thyself. Verse 22. And Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand unto the Lord, the Most High God, the possessor of heaven and earth. Verse 23. That I will not take from a thread even to a shoe latch, and that I will not take anything that is thine, lest thou shouldest say, I have made Abram rich. Verse 24. Save only that which the young men have eaten, and the portion of the men which went with me. Aner, Eshkar, and Mamre. Let them take their portion.
All right, verse 15 in the Hebrew. All right, Genesis chapter 15, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Akar, Hadabaryam, Ha'ala, Haya, Dabar, Yahweh Al, Abaram, Bama Chaza, La Amar, Al, Tayara, Abaram, Anakia, Magan, Laka, Shakarka, Harabah, Ma'ad, verse 2. Waya Amor, Abaram, Adunya, Yahweh, Ma, Sathan, Laya, La Anakia, Slakia, Hawalak, Irayaria, Slakia, Irayaria, Waban, Mashak, Bayafya, Hawa'a, Damashak, Al Yaizar, Allah Izar, Allah Izar, verse 3, Waya Amor, Abaram, Han, Laya, La'a, Nasatha, Zarai, Wahana, Ban, Bayafya, Yavarash, Afya, verse 4, Wahana, the bar, Yahweh, Aliyawa, La Amor, La, Yarashka, Za, Kaya Ashar, Taza'a, Mamamaya, Hawa'a, Yarashka, verse 5, Waya Taza'a, Afwa, Hakataza, Waya Amor, Waya Amor, Habat, Na, Hashamyam, Hashamaya, Hashamayam, Hashamayam, Wasapar, Hakawakab, Hakawakabyam, Tawakal, Dasapar, Ahma, Waya Amor, Lawa, Ka Yahweh, Zaraika, verse 6, Waya, Waha'aman, by Yahweh, Waya Chabasha, Lawa, Tazadak, Tazadakwa, verse 7, Waya Amor, Alua, Anya, Yahweh Ashar, Hawa Taza'af Yaka, Ma'af, Ma'ar, Kashadyam, Lathaf, Laka, Af, Rakdaza, Hazaf, Lover Shathaf.
Once again, Genesis chapter 15, verse 1 in the English. After these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. Verse 2, and Abram said, Lord God, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless? And the steward of my house is this Eleazar of Damascus. Verse 3, and Abram said, Behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir. Verse 4, and behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, This shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thy own bowels shall be thine heir. Verse 5, and he brought him forth abroad, and said, Look now toward heaven, and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, So shall thy seed be. Verse 6, and he believed in the Lord, and he counted to him for righteousness. Verse 7, and he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees, to give thee this land to inherit it.
Verse 8 in the Hebrew, Wayamar Adanya Yahweh Bama Adai Kaya Aya Rashana. Verse 9, Wayamar Aliwa it's like a Kwacha Laya Igala Ma Shalasha Ra'ais Malashala, it's like a Mashalasha Wa Ayal shalash, Wathar, what Gawazal, verse 10, Wayakwak, Lawa, Kal, Allah, Wayabathar, Athma, Bada Wak, Wayasan, Ayash, Bathar Wak, Nakara'at, Ra'ayawa, Wa'ah, Ha Tazapar, La'ah, Bathar, verse 11, Wayarad, Ayat, Al, Hapagarium, Wayashab, Athma, Abaram, verse 12, Wayahaya, Hashamash, Labawa'ah, Hadabarat, it's like it, what the Radama, it's like it, the Radama, Na Pala, Al, Abaram, Wahana, Ayama, Khashaka, that's Kashak, Khashaka, Gadala, Napala, Aldiwa, verse 13, Wayamar, La Abaram, Yadai, the Dai, Kaya, Gar, Yahawa, Zaraika, Ba'arataza, La'alaham, Ibad, Wa'ibad, Ibad, Aina, Wa'ainwa, Atham, like Athma, Arabai, Ma'af Shana, verse 14, Wagam Af, Hagoya Ashar, Tada Ibad wa Dan, Anakya, wa Ahoya, Khan, Tada Awa, Barakash, Gadawal.
Genesis chapter 15, verse 8. And he said, Lord God, whereabout shall I know that I shall inherit it? Verse 9. And he said unto him, take me an heifer 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. Verse 10. And he took unto him all these, and divided them in the midst, and laid each piece one against another. But the birds divided he not. Verse 11. And when the fowls came down upon the carcasses, Abram drove them away. Verse 12. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, and horror of great darkness fell upon him. Verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Verse 14. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance.
Verse 15 in the Hebrew. Waya, it's like a wa'ata, dabawa'a, al, abathika, bashawan, right? But it's like a bashalam, it's like a bashalam, tawabar, bashayab, tawaba, verse 16. What a let me see, what a war. Rabbi Ya'aya, Yashabwa, Hana, Kaya, La'a, Shalom, Iwan, Ha'amor, it's like Ha'amor, Ya'ai, Hana, verse 17, Wa Yahaya, Ha'shamas, Ba'a, Wa Ilata, Haya, Wa Hana, Tanawar, Aishan, it's like a Walak, ya, it's like a La Payad, Wala Payad, Ash, Ashar, Ibar, Bayan, Raf, Yahweh, Af, Abaram, Barayah, La Amar, Hazarai, Basafia, Af, Rataza, Hazah, Manakar, skip on me again. Manahar, Matazarayim, Hanahar, Hagadar, Nahar, Harak, verse 19, Hakoyanaya, it's like a Hakoyanya, Wa'a Hakonazia, Wa'a Hakodam Naya, verse 20, Wa'a Hachafia, Wa'a Haparazia, Wa'a Harapayim, verse 21, Wa'a Ha'amarya, Wa'a Hakanaanya, Wa'a Hagaragashia, Wa'a Hayabawashia.
Genesis 15 and 15 in the English. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. Verse 16. But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. Verse 17. And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace, and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. Verse 18. And the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, Unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. Verse 19. The Kenites and the Kenizzites and the Cadmonites. Verse 20. And the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Rephaims. Verse 21. And the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Girgashites and the Jebusites.
All right. Give the brother a hand. I was Rob reading. I remind you with me to stand with us up here.
La Shiala.
La Yashala. Amadia, which means to stand. Everyone can now stand. Wafayaha Kodam, and face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayu, Wadash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakaka, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashemayu, Thundanawa, the comb, how, the worm, Laknawa, Wafnawa, Laknawa, in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. The power in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Mahashim Yahushua, Baba Kusha, the Thunlanawa, Akak, Lavapa'a, Makala, Madawa, Akak, Hamatazariah, Akak, Hamakuyam, Hatama'ala, the Gavashan, Yahushua, the water among. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power, the power to heal, all manner of sickness, and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the leper, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahweh, thank you you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'a.
Asha'a.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al-Haharya.
Al-Haharya.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'a.
Yaba'a.
Isaiah.
Isaiah. Isaiah.
Ma'ayin.
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shemaiah.
Shemaiah.
Arataza.
Wa'arataza.
Al-Yathan.
Al-Yathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'a.
La'a.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yashan.
Yashan.
Shawamar.
Shamara.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Zalka.
Zalka.
Al-Yah.
Al-Yah.
Yamyinka.
Yamyinka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashema.
Hashema.
La'a.
La'a.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Walayala.
Walayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Ya'arad.
Ya'arad.
Yashamor.
Yashamor.
Napaska.
Ashnapaska.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamor.
Yashamor.
Taza'afka.
Taza'afka.
Wa'aka.
Wa'aka.
Ma'ita.
Ma'ata.
Wa'ai.
Wa'ai.
Awalam.
Awalam.
Aman.
Aman.
In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the
From
hills.
which cometh my help?
From which cometh my
My
help?
help coming from Yahweh.
My help coming from
Which
Yahweh.
made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and
He will
earth.
not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to
He
be
that
moved.
keepeth thee
He that keepeth
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth
shall
Israel
neither slumber nor
shall
sleep.
neither stumble nor sleep.
Yahweh thy keeper.
Yahweh thy keeper.
Yahweh thy shade upon thy
Yahweh
right
thy
hand.
shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all
He
evil.
shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and not coming in.
and thy
From
coming
this
in.
time forth,
From this time
forth,
forth,
even forevermore.
even forevermore. So be it. So did.
Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al damaya laka.
Al damaya laka.
Al takarash.
Al takarash.
Al tashakwa.
Wa ata shikwa.
Al kaya hana.
Kaya hana.
Awayabyaka.
Awayabyaka.
Yahama yawan.
Yahama yawan.
Wama shanayaka.
Wama shanayaka.
Nasha'awa.
Nasha'awa.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al aimaka.
Al aimaka.
Ya ayrayamwa.
Ya arayamwa.
Sabah.
Sabah.
Wayata ya ay tazawa.
Wayataza ay tazawa.
Al tazapawanyaka.
Al tazapawanyaka.
Amarwa.
Amor.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Walakakidam.
Wanakaki.
Magoya.
Magoya.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham yasha'ala.
Sham yasha'ala.
Aywad.
Aywad.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa'ay tazawa.
Nawa'ay tazawa.
La. Yakadwa.
Yakadwa.
Awyaka.
Awyaka.
Barya.
Barya.
Yakaratwa.
Yakaratwa.
Ahoya.
Ahoya.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Wayashma'aliyam.
Washing Amayayalim.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Hagoyim.
Wahagoyim.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa'amawan.
Wa'amawan.
Wa'amala.
Wa'amala.
Halasha.
Halasha.
Yashabya.
Yashabya.
Hazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Ashimor.
Nalawa.
Nayawa.
Imam.
Amam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zabawai.
Zabawai.
Labanya Lawat.
But when you that,
Labanya Lawat.
with Banya the what?
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha Laham.
Ashala Ham.
Hamadyan.
Kamadiyan.
Hasaya Saba'a.
Kasaya. Yashara.
Kayabyan.
Kayabyan.
Wanakal.
Wanakal.
Wayashwan.
Kalwashi.
Nashamadwa.
Lashamada.
Ba'ayanda Ara.
Bayan Adara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zaman.
Demand.
La Adama.
La Adama.
Shayatamwa.
Shigatamwa.
La Nayamawa.
Narawabi.
Ka'ira.
Ta'ira.
Wakaza'aba.
The Kazaba.
Wakazaba.
The Kazaba.
Wakazamana.
Wakazayyan.
How?
How?
Nasiyakamwa.
That's a Minkamwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Marwa.
Amara.
Nayabasha.
Nayawasa.
Lanawa.
The Nawa.
La'awa.
La'awa.
Alahayam.
Alahayam.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Kagalgala.
Kagabla.
Kakwash.
Kakwa.
Lapanya Raka.
Lapanya Raka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Yaba'ayra Ya'ayra.
Ira. Ya Ira.
Wakalahaba.
Wakalahaba.
Alahat.
Kalahat.
Haryam.
Haryam.
Khan.
Khan.
Dabadatma.
Saradakma.
Basa Iraka.
Basa Iraka.
Wabasawapaka.
Wabasabapaka.
Dabahalam.
Sabahalam.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Anyaham.
Anyaham.
Walawan.
Walaham.
Wayabakwashwa.
Wayabakwashwa.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wayabahawa.
Wabahawa.
Ayahai.
Ayahai.
Wayakaparwa.
Wabakatorwa.
Wayabadwa.
Wabaaiwa.
Wayada'aywa.
Wabadaiwa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Ata.
Ata.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Labaka.
Labaka.
Al-Yawan.
Al-Yawan.
Al-Ka.
Abartaza.
Aman.
Aman.
In English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O
Hold
Yahweh.
not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O
And be
Yahweh.
not still, O Yahweh.
For
For
lo,
lo,
thy enemies make a tumult.
thy enemies make a
And
tumult.
they that hate thee
And they that
have
have
lifted up their
have
head.
lifted up the
They
head.
have taken crafty
They have
counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden
And
ones.
consulted against thy hidden
They
ones.
have said,
They have said,
Come, and
Come,
let us cut them off and
and
be
let
a
us cut
nation.
them off from being a nation.
That the name of
In
Israel
the name of
may
Israel,
be no more
may be
remembered.
no more
For
remembered.
they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The
thee.
tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom,
and the Israelites,
and the
of
Israelites,
Moab,
of
and
Moab,
the Hagarene,
and the Hagarene,
the Baal,
the
and Ammon, and Amalek,
and
the
Amalek,
Philistines,
the
with the
Philistines,
inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
I shall also is joined with them.
I shall also join
They
them.
have opened the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah, do unto them, as unto the Midianites,
as to the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to
and
Japan,
the brook of
and
Kishon,
the brook of
with the
Kishon,
prayers they endure.
with the prayer to
They
endure.
became as dung for the earth.
They became a dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Make their nobles like
and
Horeb,
like the head.
and like the air.
Yea, all their princes,
All their
as
princes,
the Ba,
as the
and
Baal,
as the Muna,
and as the Muna,
said,
said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the house of Yahweh
the
in
house of
possession.
Yahweh in possession.
Oh my power,
Oh my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a
will
wheel,
stubble before the
like
wind,
the stubble before the
and the
wind,
fire burning for
and
wood,
the fire burneth the
and
wood,
the flames set the mountains on
and the
fire.
flames set the mountains on
So
fire.
persecute them with thy
So
tempest,
persecute them with
and
thy
make them
tempest,
afraid with thy
and make
storm.
them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shade,
Fill their faces with
that they
shame,
may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy
O
name.
Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded.
let them be
Let them be confounded
confounded
and troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may
that
know
thou,
that thou,
name alone,
their name alone,
art is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High,
art the Most High
over all the earth.
over all of the earth.
So be it.
So be it.
The blessing of the Hebrew, Brakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Wa Yahweh Shai,
wa Yahweh Shai,
Wa Mayaka'ala,
wa Majaka
Wa
Allah,
Alahaya,
wa Alahayim,
Tazab Yahah,
Matazah Yah,
Alawak Yahana,
Alawak Yahana,
Ha Alawak Yim,
Ha Alawak Yah,
Ha Saranyim,
Ha
Ha
Saranyim,
Kutazayanyim,
Ha Kwatazayanyim,
Ha Kayayayim,
Ha Kayayayim,
Wa Agwakyim,
wa Ha Yahweh,
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 by Hashem Yahushua,
Ba'ashim Yahushua,
Wa Rahman.
the water Amen.
In the English, bless you Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Mike,
and Mike,
and the
and the angel,
commanding,
commanding,
General Yahana,
General
the
Yahana,
general,
the general,
the captain,
the captain,
the officers,
the officer,
the troopers,
the trooper,
and the sisters,
and the sister,
Yahweh,
wa Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh
in
Shai,
the name of Yahweh Shai,
thank you, so be it.
so be it.
The curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and
with
earth,
all things living.
with all things living.
Yahweh, in the
Yahweh,
name of Yahweh Shai,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now,
right now,
and evils and curses,
the evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
punishment and
to
destruction
the heathen
to the
that
heathen,
speak against us,
and speak
thy
against us,
prophets,
thy
the
prophets,
teachers,
thy
the
teachers,
princes,
the
the
princes,
priests,
the
the
priests,
Israelite
the
brothers,
Israelite brothers,
and the schools,
and the schools,
and evils and curses,
the evils and
and
curses,
punishment and
and
destruction
punishment and
to the
destruction
heathen,
to the heathen,
and shake loose the
and
treasure
shake loose the
of the
treasure
rich of Israel,
of the rich of
that
Israel,
refuse to give to
that
the
refuse
school,
to give to the
force
school,
their riches,
force their riches,
into thy sanctuary,
into thy
send
sanctuary,
evils and curses,
the evils and
and
curses,
punishment and destruction
punishment and
to
destruction
the Edomites,
to the
to the
Edomites,
nations,
and the
and
nations,
the drug dealers,
and the drug
the
dealers,
court system,
the court
the
system,
prison
the
system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and
Roman
armies,
Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Pope, the Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux
Aryan
Klan,
Nation,
Alien Nation,
skinheads,
skinheads,
Father Kamikaze,
Hard to
gay
come
movement,
gay
lesbian
movement,
movement,
lesbian movement,
spies, workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space program,
NASA space program,
Army, Navy, Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet,
open up the internet,
and the airways,
and the airways,
cable access channel,
cable access
and
channel,
the radio
and
channel,
the radio channel,
convict the spirit
convict the
of
spirit
any of our people
of video
that
that
seek to stop us,
that seek to stop
bring
us,
swift destruction
very swift
to
destruction,
all the heathen
to all the
that
heathen
stand in the way,
standing in the way,
or try to stop us,
trying to stop
from
us,
broadcasting
from
your word
broadcasting your word
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues,
Let loose all the plagues,
cause them to go to and fro
cause them to go to and fro
through the earth,
and
consume
and
them.
consume them.
Let the plagues
Let the plague
take the house of the thief
take the house of the
and
king
the murderer,
and the murderer.
let Yahweh Shai,
Let the Yahweh
Michael
Shai,
and Gabriel,
Michael and
come
Gabriel,
down with the flying
come
saucers,
down with the flying
and
saucers,
punish all the heathens
punish all
that
that
come up against us
come up
as
against
we
us
speak thy word,
as we speak thy
cause
word,
it to be known
cause it to be
by
known
all
by
that
all
it's the angels that have done it,
that is the angels that have done it,
cause it to be spread
cause it to be
through
spread
the media,
through the
throughout
media,
the whole world,
throughout the whole world,
cause them
cause
to
them
shake at thy coming.
to shake at thy
In the
coming.
name of Yahweh Shai,
In the name of Yahweh Shai,
thank you always,
thank you always,
so be it.
so be it.
Sorry, it's me turn. The shouting for the sisters and sisters can now be seated. Men of Israel, to the brothers, Men of Israel, Madam Shabbat, I Madu, Barak, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah, Yalimata, Sar, Labakin, Imagine for the sisters. The sisters can now stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give a great salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh Shema, Alatah, Bashim, Yahweh Shah. Yalimata. With that, class dismissed.